Jai Gurudev. Om Sahana Vavatu Sahanau Bhunaktu Saha Viryankara Vavahai Tejasvinavadhitamastu ma vidvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shantihi. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudirayet. Jai Gurudev. So we were doing this verse yesterday. Matra sparshastu kaunteya shitoshna sukha dukkadaha agama payino nityaha tam stitikshasva bharata. So which is, O son of Kunti, the contacts of the sense organs with the sensory world, which give rise to cold and heat, pleasure and pain, which have the nature of coming and going, are not constant. Endure them, O descendant of Bharata. So I will read this one more time before we go on to the next verse. Physical pain, sorrow. What is that? Yeah. Let me just read this one more time. So, given that the Atma never dies, that it always survives, as Krishna said, it seems that the sorrow caused by the death of a person is not reasonable and therefore not very legitimate. That there may be no sorrow for the person who knows the Atma to be eternal and the Anatma to be non eternal is also possible. However, in this life, sorrow does occur because of certain changes that take place. Situations do not go your way all the time. You do not call all the shots. Things keep changing. Some of them favorably and many of them not so favorably. Some situations are pleasant, others are non-pleasant, unpleasant. That which is pleasant does not last, while the unpleasant seems to stick to me most of the time. There is therefore both pleasure, sukha, and pain, dukkha. The pleasant arrives and must pass away for the unpleasant to come. For instance, people begin to wail about winter long before it actually comes. As the summer ebbs away, they wail about that too. Even when summer is there, it is going. Thus, when winter is not there, it is coming. And when it is there, it seems not to be going at all. Half the summer is gone because of clouds, and another part of it is frittered away by rain. When it is hot, it is too hot. Because the seasons keep on changing, we find that sukha and dukkha keep on occurring. The pleasant has gone and the unpleasant has come accompanied by sorrow. The sorrow is not due to Atma going and coming, but purely because of the situational context. This being the case, is there not a legitimate sorrow? Krishna talked here about the nature of the sense organs and the sensory world. The sense organs, matras, contact sense objects. And these contacts, parshaha, give you the experience of cold, heat, pleasure, pain, etc. Sita, Ushna, Sukha, Dukkha, the knowledge that something is cold or hot produces a response that this is pleasant, Sukha, or that this is unpleasant, Dukkha. Cold can be either pleasant or unpleasant, and so can anything hot. For instance, you do not go to the fireside on a hot day as you would when it is cold. Thus, heat is not always pleasant and cold is not always unpleasant. We find that there is a uniformity in our responses and also, to a certain extent, a universality. The world is one of opposites, heat and cold, for example, and these opposites give us pleasure and pain, sukha and dukkha. Categorically, we may say that certain situations make us happy, like a pleasant sunny day. At the same time, however, there are people who want rain so much that they are praying for it. Therefore, the rain that you want, that you do not want, someone else may be praying for. These then are our responses, which seem to give rise to sukha and dukkha, all due to contact of the sense organs with their objects. One may argue that if contacting heat and cold gives rise to sorrow, perhaps we should avoid contact with sense objects. But how can we? Krishna did not say we have to avoid the contacts. We need only understand them. Most of our problems are like this. They need only to be understood. What is to be understood here is that the tendency to come and go is the nature of opposites. Heat and cold, pleasant and unpleasant, and so on. If you keep on saying it is hot, a time will come when the heat will be gone. It is the same with the cold. Therefore, they are not constant. They do not remain for you to complain about. Even if you want them to stay, they will not. They are always in a flux, constantly changing. And this nature of their being in constant flux does not change. We cannot totally remove ourselves from the opposites or remove them from us. This is not to say that one should not make an attempt to improve a situation. But if things must always be pleasant for you, Lord Krishna was making it very clear here that they would not be. Because things are both pleasant and unpleasant, they are not always going to be as you want, nor are they always going to be unpleasant either. Physical pain or sorrow. If death is said to be incapable of causing you sorrow, where does that leave all of the other situations that seem to make you unhappy? The world can cause you some physical pain because the physical body belongs to the physical world. One physical entity can therefore hurt another. Arjuna's problem is not physical. It is purely sorrow, shoka, and shoka is a type of thinking. While physical pain is something to be endured and cured, sorrow is something you build on. Physical pain is not something that is totally avoidable. The body is subject to pain and will be affected by one force or the other, the sun, rain, winter, and so on. You can protect the body to the extent possible, but because it is anitya, constantly changing, it is subject to pain. This is the nature of the body. Sorrow, on the other hand, is something you build on to the pain because of a particular way of thinking. This is exactly where we have to change cognitively. Therefore, Krishna said, take every situation as it comes, Arjuna, cheerfully, in your stride, with a sense of humor. Krishna later told Arjuna how these opposites cannot really do anything to you because, by nature, they have no independent existence apart from yourself, the Atma. I repeat this. Krishna later told Arjuna how these opposites cannot really do anything to you because by nature they have no independent existence apart from yourself, the Atma. There is some kind of lumping that occurs due to a confusion between orders of reality. The mind, senses, and body have similar realities, whereas the Atma is of another order of reality. When you say you are sad, you involve the Atma, I, in the sadness, as though the Atma belongs to the same order of reality as the mind, which it does not. In this way, the Atma is taken to be the Anatma and it becomes one among the many. Because the Anatmas in the world are too many and so varied, you cannot cope with them all, even though they are all Anatma. Even the small bugs create so many problems, let alone the more powerful forces. If the Atma is really one among the many, nothing can be done. However, the vision is that the Atma is unlike any of them. Sorrow is not possible without Atma, I. Every time there is sorrow, it is because Atma is somehow involved. Mere mind with its thought processes cannot create sorrow. Therefore, ignorance is the cause for imputing sorrow to Atma. What is there to worry about? The coming and going of the opposites is a fact. Thus, when Krishna told Arjuna, endure them, titikshasva, he was not offering advice. He was being objective. What is the need for this objectivity? Because situations are constantly changing. the pleasant as well as the unpleasant. To think that only the pleasant ones change and not the unpleasant is not correct. What then is there to worry about for a person who is objective, who has a certain appreciation for what the world and its situations are all about? There is no reason for sorrow. There are just situations to face and act upon, whether inner or outer. There is nothing to be sad about. This is being very objective. That is, you're seeing the world till now, till from the 11th to the 13th verse. Krishna talked about the Atma. And he said, you're grieving for something that does not need to be grieved. And the Pandita who knows the difference, who knows the Atma, does not grieve, has no reason to grieve. But in this verse, Krishna is bringing him to the fact, he's giving him the perspective of the mithya reality, of the Jagat, of the universe. Saying in the Anatma, the Anatma is constantly in flux. The Atma is standalone, Satya, Satchit, Ananda. Nothing can touch it. There is no grief, no sorrow, no pain. Whereas the Mithya Jagat, which is constantly changing, when your sense organs come in contact with the senses. Again, all this is part of the Mithya Jagat. The experience of pain also is because of that lumping of. Without the Atma, there cannot be even your senses, sense objects. The whole world does not exist without the Atma. So that is there, that is shining in and through. But that sorrow happens because because of ignorance of the true nature of Atma, and because we identify ourselves with the Anatma. Because of that lumping, that confusion, we experience grief and sorrow. So there is only something to be understood about these opposites. So therefore, we have to become objective. If we become more subjective, you're getting entangled in the world, in the opposite values, in the opposite situations, pleasant and unpleasant. Whereas when you stand back and become objective, you're looking at it through that witness lens, then you're able to smile through and take what Krishna is asking Arjuna to take the world as. What is it? Take everything in your stride cheerfully with a sense of humor. You're as though looking at your whole life as a movie, ups and downs, pleasant, unpleasant. Nothing lasts. Nothing actually lasts. So, anyone else wants to share before we go to the next verse? So, there are just situations to face and act upon, whether inner or outer. There is nothing to be sad about. Inner or outer, inner is all about the self-talk that we go on, the inner struggle inside. Outer is, of course, in the outside world. And this fact of titiksha, endure them, does not mean you will not do things to improve them. You will do what is in your capacity to improve and then let go. Further, he said, Yam hi na vyathayante purusham purusharshabha samadukha sukham dhiram somritatvaya kalpate. Purusha Rishabha, O the prominent among men, Arjuna, ete, these two, Sukha and Dukkha, Sama Dukkha Sukham, the one who is same in pleasure and pain, Dhiram, one who is discriminating, Yam Purusham, the person whom na vyathayanti, do not affect, Saha, he indeed, Amritatvaya, for gaining liberation, that is moksha, kalpate, is fit. So, Purusha Rishabha, ete samadukha sukham dhiram yam purusham na vyathayanti saha hi amritatvaya kalpate. O Arjuna, the prominent among men, the person whom these sukha and dukkha do not affect, who is the same in pleasure and pain, and who is discriminative, is fit for gaining liberation. In this verse, Krishna addresses Arjuna as a Purusha Rishabha, whose literal meaning is a bull. Rishabha, among men. Among large herds of cattle, the stud bull always stands out because of its size and the big hump on its back. Just as a bull cannot be missed among hundreds of cows, so too Arjuna stood out as the most exalted of men. Even those who did not know who Arjuna was would have acknowledged him because of his brilliance, Tejas. He was a man of great accomplishment and a highly recognized person in the society. So he was addressed as Purusha Rishabha, the most prominent among men. A discriminative person remains the same with reference to the opposites. Pleasant and unpleasant situations do not affect the person. Such a person is aware of their coming and going, of their constantly changing nature. In the Bhashya, Shankara makes it clear that this is not just a matter of practicality. A wise person knows himself as Atma, one who cannot be affected by any situation. Such a person is called Dhira, meaning one who is discriminating, one who has knowledge of the Nitya Atma. The word Pandita used in an earlier verse is replaced here by the word Dhira, meaning one who is not affected by the opposites and who therefore gains moksha, amritatva. Mritatva means being subject to mortality, whereas amritatva is to be free from mortality. Knowing the Atma as the one that is Nitya, the wise gain moksha. One who is discriminative, who accepts situations happily, and who does not allow himself or herself to be swayed by either pleasant or unpleasant situations, is one who is fit for self knowledge or who already has this knowledge. Krishna obviously wanted to make this fact clear at the outset. So, beautiful terms here. Purusha Rishabha. Because Arjuna was a stalwart amongst men, right? The most prominent among men. So he is compared to a Purusha Rishabha, a bull among men. So, in a way, it's because he's such a strong person, he is also fit for that self knowledge. And that strength is not just in physical strength. Mentally, one who is able to face situations, both pleasant and unpleasant. So, Krishna is actually goading Arjuna, rise yourself up to that level, because then you're fit for self knowledge. Because as of now, Arjuna was completely overwhelmed by sorrow. That's why even Gurudev says this knowledge is not for the weak. Nayamatma balahina. It's for those that this Atma is not, Atma Jnana is not for those who are weak um, in their mind. Body might be weak, but the mind has to be strong. And that is the Dhira. Dhira is one who is discriminative, one who is strong, discriminative. See, a discriminative person remains the same with reference to opposites. So, pleasant, unpleasant situations do not affect the person. Such a person is aware of their coming and going, of their constantly changing nature. So, a wise person knows himself as Atma, one who cannot be affected by any situation. Such a person is called Dhira, meaning one who is discriminating, one who has knowledge of the Nitya Atma. So Pandita, Dhira, they all are synonymous. Dhira is one who is not affected by opposites. I remember when one of our friends here was going through a very difficult phase. Gurudev was connected and he was contacted. And he said just one statement. He said, Dheeraj rakho. So now, that is so clear. He is just goading that person. He was goading that person to rise above the pairs of opposites. Dhira. So even getting exposure to this knowledge, this is all paroksha jnana. So at least having that paroksha jnana of the Nitya Atma, we may not have aparoksha jnana yet, but at least as long as we have the viveka, that discrimination between Nitya Atma and the Anitya Anatma, and that the Anitya Anatma constantly keeps changing. And it is the nature of the world, the nature of whenever the sense objects are contacted by the sense organs, there will be sensations created. And these sensations can be either pleasant or unpleasant. And nothing lasts, everything is in a constant flux. But if we can disentangle the Atma identification with the Anatma, that is what a Dhira does. He discriminates. He knows, I am beyond all of this. I am not this. I am other than this. At least as a concept. So one who is discriminative, who accepts situations happily, who does not allow himself or herself to be swayed by either pleasant or unpleasant situations, is one who is fit for self knowledge or who already has this self knowledge. So he's including both. One who is fit, which means he's still a student of Vedanta, or one who's already has this knowledge. Krishna obviously wanted to make this fact clear at the outset. Shall we move on? Does anybody want to share?
Sorry, Dr. Brahmara, I just joined.
No
Which
problem.
sloka is this? Matra Sparshas? You
That
finished
is
that one?
finished. Yeah, I just repeated that once. And then
Oh,
we did the 15th verse, which is
that's a different one. Okay, okay.
this is Yam hi na vyathayantyete purusham purusharshabha
Mm,
samadukha sukham dhiram somrtatvaya kalpate.
mm. So, so this also like not affecting the uh, wise people. When they have discriminative that viveka, then it doesn't affect them.
Correct. And
Okay.
he is also telling Arjuna, who
Mm.
is fit for liberation.
Oh, okay.
Not everybody. The person who is
Person who
able to rise above the pairs of opposites,
pairs of
who is
opposite.
objective in his approach to the world.
Mm. Praise about
He-
that. Mm.
Yeah.
In the Matra Sparshas, that one is the
There
sense
he
organ.
says
Mm.
titikshasva. He
Oh,
says
yeah.
endure them because that is the
And
nature of the world.
cognitively, yeah, and cognitively, he said,
Hmm.
take it with the humor. Like, okay, yeah, Titikshra.
Face situations cheerfully. Take them in your stride
Right, right.
with a sense of humor.
Mhm.
That is why Gurudev time and again keeps saying, see,
Mm.
in all his knowledge sheets, he says one of the knowledge sheet is how do you um, how do you face a situation where people are being rude to you?
Mm.
See, when someone is rude to you, what is being affected? What is the aspect of us that is getting affected? The ego, right? The
Yeah.
ego is getting affected because you feel humiliated.
Mhm.
Now, if you can smile through that situation,
Mhm.
then you have actually grown. But if you're still getting caught up and you're still upset about, oh, this person said this, that person said that, then you're still you're stuck in that subjectivity of the small I. But if you're discriminative, you're dhira, you are able to use the viveka and say, hey, listen, I am not this, I am not the I am not the small I that I'm identifying myself with. I am bigger than that. I am the big I am Nitya Atma. Then you'll be able to smile through it.
Mm.
Like that Buddha story where that person hurls so many insults at Buddha. He just smiles through it.
Mm.
And then later when he comes back and says, sorry, I was abusive with you, he says
Mm.
that person is not there anymore. Because Buddha was at an elevated level of consciousness. He was not affected by this changing, constantly in flux world.
The one they wouldn't put the food or something when they went for bhiksha.
No, not the Bhiksha thing. It is, yeah, that is also that you can take it that way. But he was giving a sermon, and his friend takes his merchant friend along with him
Mm.
to attend against his wishes. And then he, this this merchant continuously hurls insults at Buddha.
Oh, okay, okay. Mm.
Everybody else, including this friend, is feeling very upset. How can
Mm.
you do this? But
Mm.
Buddha is sitting very sedate, very, you know, peaceful,
Mm.
smiling through.
Yeah. Mm. Sorry, I didn't mean to stop you here. Okay, let's we
No, no, fine.
continue. So you finished with the 16 also now?
Sorry. O Arjuna, the prominent among men, the person whom these sukha and dukkha do not affect, who is the same in pleasure and pain, and who is discriminative, is fit for gaining liberation. No wonder Gurudev kept opposite values are complementary as the first knowledge point of the in the happiness program. So when that you're able to master, you're able to practice and live that knowledge, then you're fit for liberation, gaining liberation. नासतो विद्यते भावो न भावो विद्यते सतः उभयोरपि दृष्टोऽन्तः त्वनयोस्तत्त्वदर्शिभिः. Asataha, for the unreal, mithya, bhavaha, being, na vidyate, is not there. Sataha, for the real, api, also, abhavaha, non-being, absence, na vidyate, is not there. Ubhayoho anayoho, of these two, the sat and asat, antaha, the ultimate truth, tattva darshibihi, by the knowers of the truth, tu indeed, drishtaha, is seen. Asataha bhavaha na vidyate. Sataha api abhavaha na vidyate. Ubhayoho anayoho antaha tattva-darshibihi tu drishtaha. For the unreal, mithya, there is never any being. For the real, there is never any non-being. The ultimate truth of both of these is seen by the knowers of the truth. This is a very important verse, even though cryptic. For the asat, a word we shall use as it is, there is no being. Bhava. In other words, being is not there for the asat. And for the sat, there is no non being. In the second line of the verse, Krishna went on to say that this fact is known by those people who know the ultimate truth about Sat and Asat. The first line is the crux of the verse. Nasato vidyate bhavaha na bhavo vidyate sataha. See, there's na bhavo, there is a dirgha there. So, na abhavaha vidyate sataha. And this nasato is na asatah vidyate bhavaha. So there is unreal, there is no existence. For the real, there is no non-existence, non-being. Asat means something that does not exist independently. And Sat is that which exists independent of anything else. What is it that exists independently? Cold and heat, for example, do not exist independently because they depend upon a number of factors. There is no absolute cold existing by itself. That something is cold depends upon something else. The temperature cannot reveal itself to you by itself unless you have a perception. Therefore, your perception is essential in order to understand that something is cold and something else is hot. When you say this is a pot, does the word pot reveal an object that exists by itself? Or does the object indicated by the word pot depend for its existence upon something else? If it depends on something else, clay, because of which the pot is there, and unto which it will go back, that clay becomes the cause, karana, for the pot. The word pot has no real object outside of the word itself. It has no existence apart from clay. That which has a cause, that which depends upon something for its existence, that which does not independently exist, is called asat. Shankara explains asat further. When we try to prove the existence of things that are dependent upon causes for their existence, such as cold and heat or any given object, we find that there is no self existent thing at all among the objects of the world. Why? Because what is there is only a form, vikara, that keeps changing, vyabhicharati. It is never the same, nor can it be the same. This we've seen in the previous two verses, that change is constant. So it is only a nama. It's only a nama and rupa which keep changing. Shankara goes on to prove a point here. Suppose all pots are made of clay, but you have knowledge of only one pot. You know it is clay. If you know Satya, the truth, the cause, Karana of all pots to be non dual clay, regardless of what form any or all pots assume, you know that they are nothing but this one clay. By knowing that one clay, you know all pots in the sense that they are not separate from the clay. Although this is a this is general knowledge, samanya jnana, of all pots as clay, and not the particular knowledge, vishesha jnana, of individual pots. It is knowledge of the whole. Then what is a pot? It is purely a name for a form. Other than this, there is no pot that exists separate from clay. Nor is the clay the pot. If it were, again, you would not need to make the pot, the clay being there already. Therefore, the clay is not the pot. If you remove the clay, where is the pot? Is it anywhere? Is it something that you have to search for? No. All that is there for the name pot is a form recognized as such. Anything that is time bound, like a pot, will change, and you cannot stop it because its nature is to keep on changing. When and how are you going to stop it? Therefore, what are you crying for? What are you sad for? Are you sad for something eternal because it is eternal? No. Sat is that which never changes. It has no non existence, abhava, at all. Sat is never negated at any time, whereas Asat never enjoys a being of its own. Therefore, Sat cannot create any sorrow for you, and Asat is incapable of doing so because it does not exist in its own right. How can Asat create sorrow? In the vision of the Veda, you are the Sat, and everything else is Asat. Asat cannot be a source of sorrow to Sat, and Sat cannot be a source of sorrow to you because it is you. The whole problem is one of confusion between Sat and Asat, between Atma and Anatma. Asat has no being, no bhava, it has no existence. Thus, it cannot be bhava, that which exists in all three periods of time. A thing that exists is bhava, and abhava is a thing that does not exist. The word bhava comes from the root bhu, used in the sense of existence. I think this is where kind of we stopped some time back, I think about a couple of weeks ago, where we wanted to know what is Atma. And then we went on to Tattva Bodh and then did the Sadhana Panchakam and then came back here again. Right? So it was a good recap and reflection back on and revision of the Tattva Bodh.
Yeah.
So what is happening, what is being unfolded here is understanding, is removing the confusion, isn't it? So the whole thing is all about understanding of knowing the difference between the two orders of reality, Satya and Mithya.
Yeah.
And the pot example is so beautiful. If you remove clay from that word pot, is there anything? Does it exist? So
No.
therefore ask, what is the cause for the pot? The clay.
Okay.
So there may be several pots, you may not know all of them. But if you know that the pot is nothing but clay, you have the knowledge of the whole. So therefore you may not know the whole universe. But if you know that the universe is nothing but an offshoot of Brahman,
Mm.
Brahmashraya Maya, and then from Maya comes the world.
Mm.
Then you know the whole universe, you know the whole world, you know, you may not have Vishesha Jnana, you may not have specific knowledge of everything,
Yeah.
but you have the the Samanya, the Jnana,
Samanya jnana.
Samanya Jnana you have.
So which the Samanya jnana is about general thing, right?
Yeah, you know the
Like
whole, it's knowledge of
saying
the whole.
that like all the pots are made of clay.
Mm.
That's a Samanya jnana.
So
What is
that's
the
what Vedanta is telling us. Hey, listen, all
mm.
this is because of Maya.
Mm.
It is because of Brahman only.
Mm.
It's like a reflection of Brahman.
Mm.
It is mithya, it is an illusion. We are imputing reality on something which is unreal. That is why this verse is such an important verse again. Na sato vidyate bhavaha, na bhavo vidyate sataha. So, asat has no existence, but it is as though existing. That's the whole point. It's as though exists, like an illusion,
Mm.
like the rope, snake on the rope, like the mirage, water in the mirage on the mirage, in the mirage.
Every time we read that and then we get confused again. Well, so here what I didn't get it is this: we don't have to know about individual parts. All the parts are made of clay. That's not
Correct.
as a whole, right? So we cannot take like an individual being, even us, taking actually, it's a whole, right? I mean, it's not, almost like a part only, all the human beings.
Exactly. That is why Gurudev in one
Yeah,
beautiful reel says,
yeah.
you want, someone asks him how to become enlightened. He says,
Mm,
very simple. Just remove the nama and rupa from the world. Remove,
mm,
take people as though they have no face.
mm.
Look at the world as if without any face. Look at people
Yeah. I was
without the
also,
face.
yeah, watching one of the Guruji's this reel, and he's walking with someone and asking, I'm dipping in and out of things, and when
Mm.
I'm going to know, like that. And then he says, yeah, that itself good, that because you're uh, that's a good stage, meaning you are in and out, so your desires are coming down. As the desires are coming down,
Yeah.
then you're going to close to that.
Mm.
Of course, if you get rid of all the desires, then you're going to be that close to enlightenment.
Yeah.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
See, it is not a state that we have to achieve. We already are
Yeah,
that.
the mukti, yeah, that's what you would.
Mukti.
That
You,
mukti is
you
like
are already free. We
free,
only assume we are bound.
right?
We are, so once that, yeah, I know this reel was beautiful. Correct.
Yeah, it's really nice that way. I mean, actually, but now that I see him so often in the Facebook, just like that, it's nice that small things comes up, and then you feel like he also is having another tour, Canada, here, there, everywhere. So last time when he came, I did see him. I went to San Jose, close by. All
Yeah,
I
very
could
good.
say is Jai Gurudev, Jai Gurudev. That's all I could say. But all of the people, I can't believe, man. Like, I don't know how it is in India. Here, also, people like just almost on top of him. Like, it just, you get a glimpse of him, just, okay, second also, you can be peaceful. No, I know they all get be touching him and putting the flower, this, that. I know they're all wanting to do things, but he was different. It's nice of him, though, giving darshan for everybody.
Brahmaraji, in Vigyan Bhairav, Gurudev used to give example of bubbles. Is that same for this thing also? We see all forms and names as a bubble, and then
Yeah.
bubbles just, yeah.
He also says, talks about the general vibration and the special vibration, right?
Hmm.
He says, general vibration is what you are. Special vibration is individually, like you are seeing things
Hmm.
differently.
Hmm.
Nama Rupa is the Vishesha, this one vibration. Whereas what runs in and through everything is the Samanya
Hmm.
vibration, the general vibration.
And when we know it, everything comes from the Brahman and because of the Maya. So the samadukhi or that some dukkha and sukha will not bother.
Hmm. No, when you know the knowledge, when you understand,
Hmm.
it will come because you have a physical body.
Hmm.
Because you have the physical body is subject to pain,
But you
right?
will not overcome by means
You will not be,
hmm.
yeah, you'll not be overwhelmed by that.
Overwhelmed by. Hmm.
The situations will come and go. There will be painful situations, there'll be pleasant situations. There
Hmm.
are only situations for you to act upon, not
Hmm.
to get
Only
entangled.
act. Hmm.
Because you are like a dhira, you're a dhira, right? You're
Tira.
able to
Hmm.
discriminate. You're being objective. You're looking at it
Hmm.
as a witness.
Hmm.
That's why they said there are thousands of reasons for you to be upset. You
Hmm.
cannot go on changing the world. The world will continue to cause trouble, so to say. If you are look at me, I mean, if I'm a perfectionist, if I
Hmm.
want the world to be perfect, it will never be, because there will always be something that is imperfect. So we are looking at something, you know, we are trying to do something which is not possible at all,
Hmm.
which is impractical. So rather than that, you step aside and say, hey, listen, this is the nature of the world. I'll just let it be.
Hmm.
Will
And
not
at the
get it.
center core, at the center of core means at
Yeah,
core, you are peaceful and
correct.
steady. Hmm.
And you know they'll come and
Um,
go. Problem is also what, when something unpleasant comes, we think, oh, it's going to last forever. That is the problem. But we know, understanding that they are also fleeting. Nothing stays. Pain doesn't stay, pleasure doesn't stay. They come and go. They're like constantly changing.
This other sloka also, right? Manigana, Eva, something like
Mhm. Sutre Manigana Iva.
Sutre Manigana. Like a string of
Yeah.
pearls. Everywhere.
So I will stop here today. Correct, Dr. Mara. Sutre Manigana Iva is like that is running in and through creation, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
The sutra is not visible to the outside. What we see is only the money. Money is the pearl.
Mm.
So
Yeah.
we,
But Gurudev says, no, if the pearl is hollow and empty from inside, only then sutra will go in from there.
will go. I know. That's true. So tomorrow and day after, I will not be there, but you can continue. Um,
Tomorrow is what day is
whoever is able to read tomorrow and day after, if you're able to read, very good. If there is, in case, I
I
hope
will
there is
try,
someone.
and yeah, I I will try, but then again, the weekend.
Otherwise, one suggestion is you can maybe one of you could play the previous recording and then do Manana on that. Or the third option is to give a break Friday, Saturday, and we resume on Sunday. So I'll leave whichever is possible, however it's possible. Please take it up tomorrow and day after, and we'll come back.
Yeah.
And I seek all your blessings. I'll be doing my first VTP course starting tomorrow.
Oh,
So
what
VTP
is
is
that?
volunteer training program,
Oh, okay.
and this is eligibility. You've done an advanced course, right, Dr. Mara?
No, I haven't.
Okay. So please do an advanced course at the earliest, whenever it's possible. Then you will be eligible then to do the volunteer training program,
Mm-hmm. I
right?
see.
So
Yeah, I've
it is
been
one
want
step
to.
before you actually take on the teachers training program.
Oh,
So
I see.
earlier it used to be called the
Mm-hmm.
TTC phase 1, it used to be called,
Mm.
and then phase 2. But now they have made phase 1 as VTP,
Mm.
named it because they're not everybody wants to become a teacher, but you can still be a volunteer,
Volunteer.
a more empowered volunteer. So that's why it's called VTP.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. So
Okay.
let's take this up tomorrow. We'll see how it is possible.
Sure. So,
And
do you want us to continue with in case if I can read, or
yeah,
should
please
we just
continue.
Mm.
Continue, and I'll
Okay.
catch up with you on Sunday.
Okay. All right.
If there is everybody there and you want to continue, you can continue to read. We stopped at this. You can start with this verse one more time.
Okay.
Nasato vidyate bhavo.
Okay. Yeah.
Actually, I did not read this footnote, but you can
Footnote.
read this part. Okay.
Okay.
Verse 16.
16. Okay.
Yeah.
Got it. Okay.
So we'll stop here.
Mm.
ॐ लोका समस्ता सुखिनो भवन्तु ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः ॐ तत्सत् श्रीकृष्णार्पणमस्तु जय गुरुदेव
Got it. Thank you.
Meditation is accepting this moment, living every moment totally with depth. Let us keep our spine erect and body relaxed and eyes closed. Relax your shoulders. Keep a big smile on your face. You're sitting like the statue of Buddha, very serene and with a serene smile on your face. Relax your body. Let's take a deep breath in and breathe out. Become aware of your chest region, throat and chest region. If you notice some tension in the body, just let it be. Except those parts of the body where you feel a tension, the other parts are in comfort. Other parts are at peace. Become aware of that also. There are many good things about you and inside of you. Acknowledge them. They will never leave you. And the negative aspect you may see in you is never going to stay with you forever. They are all guests for some time. Let them be. Sit with the total acceptance of yourself the way you are at this very moment. Total acceptance of what is now here will lead us to deeper meditation. Let go of all the effort. Shanti. Let go of all your effort and be in this emptiness. And slowly and gradually become aware of body and surroundings. And you may gently open your eyes.